Hi everyone, it's me, Crafty Witch. Welcome back to my channel. So if you've seen my other video about my Book of Shadows or my grimoire, it's pretty full. Like, it's in a 5-inch 3-ring binder. It's pretty packed and it's time to move on to something else. And I've been thinking about what kind of book shadows I want, that kind of thing, and have come across different videos about junk journal style books of shadows and scrapbook style books of shadows and art book style, like all different types of styles, but they're all very creative and they're all made in totally different ways. Like, some people will use existing books with the existing pictures and they might just paint over top them, or just leave it as is and just glue stuff over top, or they make it their own one way or another, or they might rip out all the pages, make their own signatures and like sew them in or glue them in, or do it up however they want. And I have never had like a magical journal before that was so like where you can't just add and remove. That 3-ring binder, I loved being able to open it up whenever I wanted, and I can move things around, shuffle things, add, delete, do whatever. Love that. But I really love the creativity aspect of a junk journal style book of shadows and making it your own and adding texture and being kind of more lighthearted. I think that book of shadows, its personality, it was like its own entity. Okay, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of like saying goodbye to a friend. Like, it's that kind of feeling. Like, it's kind of weird. I'm very bonded to it, and you know, it's like, it's kind of like going to visit your grandma and who you love and adore, and you love spending that time, and then you're really happy to go hang out with your younger friends and go and kind of enjoy life and, you know, party, do whatever, that kind of stuff. This style, it's more lighthearted, very creative. You could really make it your own however you want, and I like that. Now this particular one that I'm working on, the pages are bound. It's not, there's no way I can add, remove. And what I done is I went to our local thrift store. I bought a hardcover. It's actually a Lady Gaga, kind of like a concert book, and it's huge. It's like, what is it, 13 inches tall by 10.5 inches wide. Like, it's a nice size. It's not like anything like super small and compact. This will not fit into my purse. You know, this is pretty big, and that's fine. So I got it. I took off the paper jacket. It was solid black book with silver writing on the spine. And then so I painted the front and the back this kind of brown marble color or pattern or whatever. I used like 3 or 4 shades of gold, a bronze, 2 shades of brown, and a black paint, and I just kind of sponged it on. I really like doing marbling, so I done that front and back and the spine. And then I decided I wanted a skull on the front, and I also went into my collection of calendars and almanacs that I have, because I've been collecting ones from, I'm going to say the name wrong, because I know when you say it in Welsh, it is totally different than the Americanized version of pronouncing it, but we'll call it Llewellyn, but that's not the right way to pronounce it. But anyway, I've been collecting their calendars since the 90s, as well as their almanacs, like their magical almanacs since then. And I've never, ever cut them up or anything like that, but I've saved them, and I had thought about like maybe someday framing some of the artwork. Some of it's like gorgeous, so I've been saving and saving all these calendars throughout all these years, and I decided to go through them. This was just last night, and see if I can find a skull, because I really wanted to have a skull on the cover. And they had a few of them through the years, of skulls and things like that, which was awesome. So then what I started to do was, I finally found one, cut it out, and then I glued it down onto here. And then I wanted some kind of texture on the front. I didn't want it just that smooth kind of finish. So then I had gold tissue paper, like the kind you wrap gifts up with and stuff. And I Mod Podged it all over and kind of crumpled it up to give it texture. And I'm not done. I would like to add, I want to add some black lace. I want to add maybe something else, like maybe feathers or something. I'm not done. So this is like, I just started working on this the last couple days. So I'll show you what I've done so far. I also added 3 long ribbons as bookmarks, and I opened up the book completely like this so that there is a little bit of space between the pages and the spine of the book. And I glued the ribbons, the tips together, and then I poured some glue in that part, stuck them in there, pushed it, held it in place, and she's good to go. So I'll show you what I've been working on. So there's the back of the book. This was what I had painted on the front and the back. And then this is the front of the book, and it's kind of like a comic, I get it. But it's a skull, it's like a sugar skull. There's like pictures of like the ancestors. There's a little tiny witch in there with a broom right over here. There's like kind of like a goddess symbol there. There's like, I'm gonna guess, I don't know, there's somebody here with a like a rattle. And there's like little skeletons all over the place. And I liked it. So that's what's on the front. And it's definitely more of a playful book. It doesn't seem to have that real serious, somber tone that my other Book of Shadows had. And that's fine. As I've gotten older, I've learned that humor and being able to laugh at yourself and not take things so seriously is so important. And I want this to be a fun process. I am in the part of my life where I'm calling it the croning period. I am perimenopausal, and so like I'm slowly shifting from like the, you know, the mother aspect into the crone aspect. And the crones that I knew had excellent sense of humor. They always were able to laugh at their own mistakes as well as at other people's mistakes. But they knew that laughter was medicine. It was magic in itself. It was healing, and especially during very tough times. So this Book of Shadows, I don't want it to be, not that the information in it, that there won't be things that are serious and somber and that kind of thing, but I'm just kind of like at that leg in my journey where it's like, you know, it's okay to lighten up, you know, and really you should lighten up all the way through it and don't be so serious all the time, kind of thing. So anyway, that's my rambling. So I glued gold tissue paper all over the front, and I ripped it up into little itty bitty pieces, and I Mod Podged it all over, and it gives this such a really cool texture. I was tempted to do the back as well, but I like that look. I don't know, I like it. So because my life is a bit of a paradox, it's like rough on front, smooth on the back. Yeah. Then I started to apply some gesso to the pages, right? Because there's some pages I wanted to cover up and some I wanted to kind of leave. I like the fact that she dedicated this book to little monsters. I love that. So that's staying in here. And then there's some like pictures in here where she's covered in like fake blood, and I thought that would be perfect and excellent for like this one here, for blood magic and stuff like that. Like, I just like the image. It's kind of a powerful in your face image. Here she looks like she's like, this kind of looks like the moon and kind of looks like clouds and all that kind of stuff. So some things, some of the pictures I've kept because I think I can incorporate that into my magical works. What else? And most of them I just covered with gesso that I made using paint and glue and cornstarch and water, because I'm not going to pay a whole pile of money for a little tiny bottle of it when I can just make it at home. And it's not pure white. I used the paint called antique white, so it's kind of yellowish, beigey kind of color. Here's another one that I like the visual interest of the chain link fence and the hands reaching out underneath, so I'll probably incorporate that into something as well. These are the bookmarks that I made out of the ribbons. It's red and yellow and black, and that's it. That's as far as I got. Only painted a few pages so far. It's already kind of standing up because of that, but that's okay. It's only going to get worse as I add more stuff. But it's been really fun so far. I'm thinking of adding some feathers and maybe some dried leaves and some black lace, and just kind of making it something very different. I want to put in some pockets and all kinds of really cool stuff. So that's my latest adventure with A Book of Shadows. Is I'm repurposing an old book that was in our thrift store, and I'm going to make it into something that I think will be a very awesome magical journal of sorts. So it's going to be a playful, lighthearted approach. I didn't want it so serious and somber like the other one. It was like all black crushed velvet, and that was nice. There was like no artwork on it on the outside or anything. It was very bare bones kind of thing, and I thought this would be fun and playful, so I'm really kind of excited about it. So I'm going to stop rambling here. I can't see what the number is. Either it's like 12 minutes or 17 minutes. I really hope it's not 17. I do ramble. But yeah, so that's my journey. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram account. I'm just starting. It's nowhere near being done. And yeah, it's been lots and lots of fun so far. I really like the feel of the texture. Like, oh my gosh, like it feels so cool. Like, it's pretty heavy, but I just like that texture. And then this is nice and smooth, and then this is all kind of rough and wrinkly, kind of like me. Rough and wrinkly, but no, it's fun. So yeah, I think this might be a new hobby of mine, is creating these junk journals. I really like it. I just, it's so much fun just creating something that's so random, and it's like one of a kind, and it's not mass produced, and it's very individual. I just love it. I think it's so much fun. So anyway, that's it for now. I am rambling on far too much. We'll see you guys later. Ciao.